Disney dropped nearly $250 million trying to rebrand Snow White. And what did they get in return? A full-blown animated takedown by Family Guy.
Oh, you said we were going to a place Walt Disney built.
No, Peter, I said supported.
Oh, you said we were going to a place Walt Disney built. No, Peter, I said supported. Not just a shot at the movie, not just at the casting. This was Family Guy dragging the entire Disney reboot era, and the best part? They didn't even need to say Rachel Zegler's name. The message was loud, brutal, director. It hit because people are tired. Tired of forced remakes, tired of moral lectures disguised as movies. And right now, Rachel Zegler is the poster child for all of it. Cut to Peter in Disneyland. He's confused. Behind him, a roller coaster crashes with the label Disney stock slapped across it. Yeah, that's not subtle. That's Family Guy saying, Disney is spiraling, and this brand of corporate activism is killing it. Then it gets worse. Peter flips through TV channels. That girl's hot. Wait, that's a guy. That guy's handsome. Nope, that's a girl. That cat's cute. What? That's a dog? What is everything? That one line blew up. It became a meme. Because it hit a nerve. People are being told to just keep up, while everything they used to love is being redefined. And here's the twist. Family Guy wasn't even first. South Park beat them to it. And where Family Guy threw jabs, South Park dropped a bomb. They're joining the Panderverse special tour into Disney like never before. They mocked the formula, the strategy, the suits behind it. They introduced a version of Kathleen Kennedy, the real-life exec, and gave her the Panderstone, a magical relic that forces studios to insert diverse women into every project, whether it fits or not. The episode is chaos. Cartman's stuck in a multiverse where every franchise character has been replaced with a scowling, lecture-spewing copy of itself. And then, the line that broke the internet, "Put a chick in it, make her gay." One line, and it summed up the backlash that's been boiling for years. Forced, formulaic, hollow. It didn't stop there. George Lucas himself, the man behind Star Wars, was caught calling out Disney on stage, live, in front of an audience. We think we're good people, but in the real world we're not. We're selfish. We ruin things. That's how democracies become dictatorships. The crowd laughed, but it wasn't really a joke. Now,
tell me exactly what it is you're afraid of.
I keep having the same dream. Everywhere I look, people are being replaced.
Okay, and who do you think is going to have you replaced?
Them, the puppet masters. The last time I had the dream, I was walking down the school hallway. And then I see Butters, and he's like, "Hey, Eric, you want to see what my mom packed me for lunch?" And that's when I start to notice that something's wrong. Everyone I cared about has been systematically replaced.
the studio that once ruled pop culture is being roasted by animation, dragged by fans, and even questioned by its own creators. And in the middle of the fire, Rachel Zegler. Because while Snow White still hasn't recovered from its early backlash, Disney's already risking their next billion-dollar remake, Tangled, with Zegler reportedly in the lead. Which is bold. Tangled could be Disney's most expensive remake ever, over $500 million once you count marketing. But after Snow White and The Little Mermaid both underperformed, even hardcore Disney fans are asking, why are we doing this again? People aren't angry that Rachel Zegler is talented. They're angry that she's being used as the face of a brand, not a story.
Some of us think we're really great people, but in the real world we're not. We're terrible people. You run your life in a very selfish way, and you think you're doing good when you're actually not. And at the same time, it's how do democracies turn back into dictatorships? It's happened through history forever.
And when that brand feels this out of touch, you're asking for backlash. Speaking of backlash, it got real when Zegler posted a TikTok from an empty movie theater, meant to hype her film. Instead, it looked like she was walking into her own career's funeral. She showed off flowers, smiled at the camera, But behind her, rows and rows of empty seats. People weren't impressed. They made memes. She brought flowers to a box office flop. And the deeper issue? The casting was controversial from the jump. Snow White, by original description, had skin as white as snow. When Disney cast a Latina actress, fans exploded. Zegler hit back on TikTok, defending herself and calling out her haters. "I'm still an olive-toned queen." But what set fans off wasn't just the casting.
Rachel Zegler is not having her year where her Snow White movie is going to lose $200 million for Disney, but doing so, she also screwed over Tangled in the process. When Rachel Zegler was cast as Snow White, she joined one of Disney's biggest franchises, which was Disney Princess, where they've done $45 billion in merchandise sales just in the last 25 years. With the goal of trying to keep that brand fresh, they've tried to do live-action reboots of the Princess movies, and they have had success so far, with Cinderella making over $500 million on a budget of $90 million, and then Beauty and the Beast making $1.3 billion. But the last two attempts for Disney just haven't worked, where Halle Bailey's Little Mermaid lost $25 million for Disney, and Rachel Zegler's Snow White is way worse and it could lose up to $200 million. Now, because of those two failures, Disney's pausing their other attempts at making live-action reboots, including the live-action Tangled movie. Which Tangled was actually the most expensive animated movie of all time, costing $260 million, and it only made $592 million, which actually means it lost money factoring marketing and ticket splits. Still, Disney saw potential in Tangled having more success as a live-action movie, but now due to the failure of the Rachel Zegler films, they're no longer going to be pursuing that or other projects. So hey, she failed so bad she did something good getting rid of the reboots and without.
It was her attitude toward the original film. She called it weird, outdated, said the prince was basically a walking red flag, and fans said, "Then why are you even playing the role?" They weren't looking for a culture war. They just wanted a good movie, one that respects the story they grew up with. Instead, they felt like they were being lectured. And then it got political. Zegler publicly supported Palestine during the Israel-Gaza conflict. Her co-star Gal Gadot, famously pro-Israel, said nothing. Suddenly, a fantasy fairy tale became a real-life geopolitical minefield. The final nail? Snow White cost up to $270 million. It made $184 million worldwide. An official flop. Even Disney insiders admitted the vibe was off. And one of them? Jonah Platt, the son of Snow White's producer, called it out directly. Rachel's interviews, her posts, her whole public image, that's what tanked the energy around the movie. Now? The question isn't if Snow White failed, it's what happens next. Family Guy roasted them. South Park burned them down. And The Simpsons? Oh, they're circling. If they join in too, Disney's not just getting mocked. They're being rejected by their own legacy. Because this isn't about haters anymore. It's about trust. Disney once stood for timeless stories. Now it's becoming known for expensive lectures and disconnected reboots. And unless something changes soon, the next roast won't be funny. It'll be the final word.